So in the earlier video, I have introduced two different types of cost and the two methods for optimization. One was to maximize the tool life, and that was cost optimization, that is reduce the tool cost, and second is the productivity optimization, in which I want to increase my production rate. And after this optimization, the machining parameters such as speed or feed rate, these two are the machining parameters, the cutting speed and the feed rate. Cutting speed is related to the speed of the spindle rotation. So I'll get the answers of my optimization in terms of feed rate and cutting speed. So we'll optimize for these two parameters. And so let's start with R1. R1 was the material cost per piece, and it is independent of machining parameters. So R1 is constant, which is assumed. R2 was set up an ideal time cost. So R2 will be mathematically lambda 1 into TS. So lambda 1 is the cost of laborers and overhead per minute. So they are the ideal laborers also. And there are TS, which is set up an ideal time. So cost multiplied by time gives the total time, total cost. So this is cost per minute, and the time will be in minute. So we'll get the total cost. Then R3 is the machining cost. That means R3 will be equal to lambda 1 into TF. So that is the cost of laborers and overhead per minute multiplied by the machining time. So earlier it was setup time and ideal time. Now it is machining time. So cost per minute into the total time of machining is the machining cost. And for turning operation, the machining time, this is an example. So machining time was given for turning operation as pi dl divided by 1000 into feed rate into velocity. So F and V has come into picture, and this is what I am going to optimize at the last. And this was single pass. So if there are multiple passes, we need to take into account. So if we are going to give the total depth of cut into different passes, so I'm going to use two passes to get the total depth of cut, then I need to take that also into account. Then we'll come to R4, that is tool changing cost. So R4 is lambda 1 into Tm by T into TCT. So I'll explain this factor Tm by T. That is the number of time my tool has to be changed. So a number of times the tool is changed, that is the machining time divided by tool life, or number of time I need to regrind the tool. That's the same thing. And TCT is the total tool changing time, which includes time for inserts and others. So I'm going to include inserts and everything in this thing. So tool changing cost takes into account. So this is the cost of the laborer into number of times I need to change the tool into the time. So time into cost per minute will give me the total cost. Now, if we come to Taylor's tool life equation, VT raised to N, so the tool life came into picture. So we need to use that tool life expression now. And so Taylor's tool life equation is given by this, and modified Taylor's tool life equation is given by this. I explained about this Taylor's tool life and modified Taylor's tool life or generalized Taylor's tool life equation in earlier video. So you can go over there and check back. Feed is F, which is here, T, which is equivalent to T1, which is uncut chip thickness, and width of cut W is equivalent to D, depth of cut. So this is the new, and I'm going to assume the depth of cut is constant. So this is my equation. Now my machining time, I want to factor out the machining time from there. So that will be C dash. So I'm just changing this constants as per my wish. So it can be C dash anything. At last we'll figure out what is that final thing. So it's C dash raised to 1 by n upon V raised to 1 by n into F raised to P by n. And now I'm going to assign the P by n is equal to 1 by m. So in the feed, the exponent will be 1 by m. So that's the only change. And I'm going to assign C dash raised to 1 by n is equal to some constant k. So this is again a constant because n was a constant for the Taylor's tool life equation for a given material. C dash is also going to be constant. So constant raised to constant, it's some new constant k. So now I can include that T in my original equation for R4. So this is where I'm going to change. So lambda 1, this was the machining time for turning operation. So I'm going to take this example for turning operation itself. And this was the time total tool life. So I have just substituted there, and the feed and velocity, those two are common. So I've taken them, and this is the final equation which we have, which is having velocity and feed rate as the factors. Now let's come to R5, that is tool regrinding cost. So it will be lambda 2 plus lambda 3 into delta into Tm by T. So what are these costs So lambda 2 is the cost of setting the tool for regrinding. I need to go to take out the tool from the machine. I need to take or the tool post. Now I take to the machining tool, regrinding tool, set up over there, and that's the setting the tool cost. Now the cost of actual regrinding. So that is the cost of actual regrinding per mm, because the regrinding process is very critical. If I can do a proper regrinding. If I'm not doing a proper regrinding, I can damage the tool and the tool completely will be useless, and I am going to lose thousands of money of that tool. So that regrinding of the tool per mm is used over here, and delta is the length of what I need to do the regrinding. So how can I find the delta? So delta is found using how much the gradual wear was happening. So the wear thing is also coming into picture. So I have explained about 3 different kinds of wear. The one was the gradual wear. So HF is the maximum regrinding which we can do. So that is given by the tool geometry itself. And the delta is the amount of regrinding we need to do. So that is HF 10 mu s. So mu s is the clearance angle. That is also coming from tool geometry. So if you do not recall this, you go to that previous video of 3 modes of tool failure. So, and Tm by T is the number of times I need to do regrinding or change the tool. So earlier we were considering it has number of times the tool is changed. Now the same factor is indicating the number of times we need to do regrinding. So R4 and R5 are complementary to each other. If I'm going to use inserts, I can change the tool or you change the inserts. So R4 will be non-zero and R5 in that case will be 0 because I'm going to use the inserts. So I'm not going to do regrinding. And if I'm going to do regrinding, I need not change the tool. The reinserts thing doesn't come into picture. So it is not necessary that all times R4, R5 are non-zero. They can be 0 values. So I have just substituted delta over here. Coming back. So, and this is over here. It is indicating number of times regrinding is to be done. So I've just combined all the thing, and this is the final equation for R5. So this is how it will look. Lambda 2 plus lambda 3 HF 10 mu s into pi dl upon 1000 K. This is coming from TM, the machining time formula, because the TM factor is there. And this is coming, the 1 by n and 1 by m are coming because of the tool life, which we have derived for R4 in the R4 case. So this is what I am going to use every time. T is equal to K upon V raised to 1 by n, F raised to 1 by m. So remember this. Now a new parameter can be taken, a new cost, lambda 4, that is equal to lambda 2 plus lambda 3 HF 10 mu s. So that will be indicated as some total cost for regrinding directly, instead of a separate cost for setting up the tool and actual regrinding. So they have been combined generally, and lambda 4 is given in your numerical questions. So the total cost will be R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R4 plus R5. I need not write all the cost again for you. They are already discussed over here. So we'll stop over here. In the next video, we'll start with the actual optimization of the cost. Thank you.